The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
It's ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy, the Democratic Republic of Sports. Overreaction Monday. And
Here's an overreaction.
Are the Cincinnati Bengals terrible at football?
It ain't got no gas in it.
They're not good.
I don't get it.
I feel like something has happened, and I'm not real sure that I can put my thumb on it. This is not just Joe Burrow's hurt. They got annihilated by a horrifically bad Tennessee Titans offense.
Mm-hmm.
We were telling people in the fantasy show, sit Derrick Henry, because why would they not have 8 people in the box? Their receivers yesterday were DeAndre Hopkins, respectable. Nick Westbrook-Akina, good call by Armchair Commentary, our resident Canadan.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Moore, Chikakonkwo, who finally got involved, Josh Wiley, and Colton Dowell. That smoked you like a honey ham. It is really time to have a realistic conversation that, maybe this is not going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, and we had a whole lot of AFC North fans in our chat that were saying the Bengals are awful. And we said, no, overreaction.
Mm-hmm.
You're several weeks in a row. You're overreacting. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Well, now that molehill has gotten bigger. And woof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it obviously doesn't hurt that Joe Burrow's injured. The calf plays a factor into it because
no doubt.
he's not as mobile, and he doesn't have the ability, it looks like, to get the ball down the field.
No.
And
at this point, you do not have to worry about the deep half against Cincinnati because he can't get the ball there.
And that's the thing that killed you, right? How many explosive plays did Cincinnati have in the last 2 years? How many of those?
Lot.
You're right. Like, how many of those 40 to 70-yard bombs were they throwing up? Huge numbers on these teams because that was the threat, right? It was Jamar Chase over the top. It was T. Higgins down the seam. Like, you were just sending the hellhounds.
And now you're in neutral.
Right.
How many 20-plus yard plays did they have offensively yesterday?
2. None.
0.
Wow.
Hard to win games in the NFL when you can't do that.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is slinging the ball an average of 6 yards.
Woo.
6 yards. That's all we can do is 6 damn yards? Like, let me channel Harry Doyle here. Why are we even here?
Well, I mean,
what are we doing?
I mean, and the thing that you really need to talk about with Joe Burrow is, do you know the list of quarterbacks that have been worse than him?
Who, give it to me?
Going by PFF grade over the course of the year, the only quarterbacks in the NFL that have been worse than him are Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Justin Fields, Sam Howell, Gardner Minshew, Anthony Richardson, Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson, Bryce Young, Desmond Ridder. And 5 of those dudes are horror awful.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Carolina.
Desmond Ridder.
Does Desmond Ridder have, like, naked pictures of Arthur Smith
does.
doing something horrible? Because that's the only explanation I have.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I used to think Arthur Smith was a smart man.
But
now
did too.
I think he's a dumb man.
Now I think he's a bad man that did something horrible, and Desmond Ridder got a picture of it. And now he's blackmailing him. You will keep me in this lineup, or people will know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I have the picture. There's a clown and a goat and a ceiling fan, and it's bad.
Yep.
That's the only explanation I have.
But you have a scenario here where you have a quarterback that's extremely limited, and he's not able to keep up with the talent around him. How many times has Jamar Chase open over the last 4 weeks of the season? And he couldn't get him the ball. You've got a real problem. Oh, wait, and you tack on the fact that Joe Burrow's got an injured calf on the fact that the offensive line continues to struggle.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, this is the big problem with where Cincinnati's at. All right, so let's just say that you think it's all Joe Burrow. We're not putting any heat on Zach Taylor. We're not putting any heat on the running game. We're not putting any heat on the offensive line. It's all Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly do you think that's going to get rectified? If you sat him down right now, he would probably be 100% in 4 to 6 weeks. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. You physically cannot sit him down. There's somebody defending Desmond Ridder in our YouTube chat, and that's I have blood actively coming out of my ears. Excuse me? Sorry, I thought I had a stroke there for a second, but I can't believe you watched yesterday and you're defending that. But whatever.
Okay. You do you, Brian.
I'm looking at. Have you seen the schedule?
Let's see here.
It's not going to get better.
Mm-hmm. You go Arizona.
You got Arizona. Yeah, guess what? They fly around, and they've got a kid that I don't think his parents hooked him enough or something because he plays with his hair on fire.
And then you got Seattle.
That's not going to go particularly well.
Nope. Then you get a bye week.
Yay!
And then San Francisco on the road.
Who will hammer you.
Eesh.
Buffalo Bills who will hammer you. Houston Texans who can score points. Baltimore Ravens who are better than you. I mean, I hate to say this because I love this Cincinnati team, and I think Joe Burr is a great story. You're done like dinner. Mm-hmm. This season is over. And I don't know that there's anything you can do to change it. If you want to try, all right, we'll sit him down for the next 2 weeks, let him catch the bye, and hope, please, to all that's good and holy that calf is better.
Yep.
A month from now, you bring him back off a bye coming against San Francisco. There's just a lot of losses there. Mm-hmm. Even if you split the Cardinals and the Seahawks, you're sitting at 2-4 in an AFC where I think you're going to have to win 11 games to make the playoffs. So you don't have a whole lot of room for error, and you still got a game at the Chiefs. You still got to play the Browns, who annihilated you the first time you played. Mm-hmm. And I'm to the point of I think some of this should be falling on Zach Taylor. At some point, you have to make the difficult call of, all right, we're not going to win a lot of games without Joe Burrow, and we have to play Jake Browning. It's not going to be great. It's going to be better than this. Mm-hmm. It's going to be better than this where I don't have to worry about you 20 yards downfield. I'm putting 11 guys inside of 20 yards and just going, you're not going to beat me over the top. You have a Maserati sitting out here in Jamar Chase and a Porsche on the other side in T. Higgins, who is now hurt. And I'm not scared of either one of them. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but at some point you just have to go, woo, buddy. This ain't going to be our year. No. And I'm there with Cincinnati. I think a lot of people got to it quicker than I did. Mm-hmm. I had to really sit down and watch Joe Burrow yesterday. By the way, Red Zone Channel, I have missed you. Lord have mercy, have I missed you.
Did you have a religious experience yesterday?
I sat in my underoos on my couch for 7 hours of commercial-free football.
I don't feel like we needed that kind of detail, but
yeah. Here's the thing, I'm a wordsmith. Our buddy Chris Womack from WLOS, he said, I have a way with words based on something I said on Twitter last night. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you should go check it out on Twitter because I do say some funny stuff there from time to time. Mm-hmm. Usually the things that I would have said on our Uncensored show that we now don't have, but could be coming back.
Right. My question with Cincinnati probably at this point, I agree with you on Zach Taylor. Like, yeah, you got to be the big boy in the room. You got to make the decision on what we're going to do here. What's the path forward? I can't keep struggling with Joe Burrow like this, right? I can't keep doing this over and over again. Hoping
you're just not going to win
better.
Games this way.
No. And so, yeah, you got to make that decision. But I'm looking at the other side of the ball going, what happened? What happened with that defense? Why are you, I don't know. I guess I would have expected more.
You can't get off the field. I'll tell you a dirty little secret. So look at time of possession. As soon as you get on 5 minutes on either side of 30 minutes, you can assume that defense basically gets cut in half every 5 minutes that you're on the field on top of that. Mm-hmm. I don't think Cincinnati's defense is bad, but when you keep getting put in bad situations because you had 14 total first downs the entire game, so you live on the field. And by the way, when you're on the field, you're having to deal with a 240-pound mountain that's coming at you full speed and is kind of irritated because the start of the season hasn't been great. Mm-hmm. It was just a buzzsaw. Yeah. But it is time to say there is definitively something wrong with the Bengals, and I don't think it's going to get better.
Yeah.
And I think it's better next year when you have Joe healthy and everybody's still in the fold. I mean, I've heard people talking about that the deal they gave him was bad because of how this started. That's insane.
Yeah, stop that.
He's still a great quarterback, but he's doing it on one leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's getting
who
hit
do you think he is,
lot.
Patrick Mahomes? Not everybody can play on one leg.
Michael Mulcair, I think I said that correctly, asked, are they running the ball with Joe Mixon? Not enough, which seems to be a consistent problem with a lot of teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Did we just forget that running the ball that's kind of important?
Yeah, we did.
And Nathaniel Hackett did.
Because why?
Your face makes me angry.
But why does that happen?
I don't know.
I mean,
Joe Mixon keeps this offense on pace because you stay on time when you give Mixon the ball because he's averaging a little over 4 yards a clip.
Mm-hmm.
You have a diminished quarterback. He's doing that with more people in the box than he has probably seen in the last 3 years since Joe Burrow came here. And then you just forsake him. Mm-hmm. He's averaging less than 15 touches a game. That's dumb. That's dumb. And that's on Zach Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Callahan's calling the plays. Okay, which one of you is the big dog? Because that's Zach Taylor.
I just, look, it can't possibly be part of this whole, hey, this is a passing league now, right? It can't be part of this whole running backs are dispensable thing.
Well, running backs are dispensable, but you still have to run the ball.
I understand.
And there are about 10 teams in this league that seem to forget that.
But I feel like that's where we're at. Everybody is forsaking the run game for the passing game. I don't know. It kind of feels very Golden State Warrior-y to me. Brian
Buchanan in the YouTube comment said, this is why running backs deserve to be paid. I don't dispute that. Yeah, they deserve to be paid because they're really important. And there are a handful of 1-3 teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, this Cincinnati team, that I can look at least one game on your schedule and go, if you had stopped with this pass happy, we're going to throw 4 out of every 5 plays. At worst, it's 3 out of every 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you would stop doing that, your record would be better than it is right now. And that falls on some play callers that just get, I don't know. You get intoxicated by pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Cincinnati going, this ain't hard to figure out.
It's the addiction to speed that everybody has. Just like I was getting ready to say with this feels Golden State Warrior-y. You know how they changed the NBA just jacking up threes and everybody went, oh, we can score a lot of points doing that. And I feel like that's kind of what's happened with the NFL is everybody's like, oh, we can push it down the field. We can score all these points. Well, sometimes you have to do the important things.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to do the fundamentals, right?
Sometimes you have to just stay on schedule and run the damn ball.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.